Essay on Romeo and Juliet.
As a professor of literature, my encounters with Romeo and Juliet continue to reveal ever more profound layers within its pages, despite its reputation as one of the most well-trodden plays in Shakespeare's body of work. This tragedy, centering on the doomed love affair between two young lovers from feuding families, speaks not only to the passion of youth but to the relentless grip of social constructs and destiny itself. Every reading exposes the delicate interplay of individual agency and fatalistic inevitability that underpins the narrative. Through the richness of language, coupled with the universality of its themes, Romeo and Juliet offers an unyielding exploration of love, family loyalty, and the conflict between personal desire and societal expectations. This tragedy, centering on the doomed love affair between two young lovers from feuding families, speaks not only to the passion of youth but to the relentless grip of social constructs and destiny itself. Every reading exposes the delicate interplay of individual agency and fatalistic inevitability that underpins the narrative. The play's brilliance is, first and foremost, enshrined in its exploration of the sheer intensity of youthful passion. Shakespeare captures the euphoria and recklessness of first love with a sharpness that resonates as vividly today as it did in the Elizabethan era. The impulsivity of Romeo and Juliet, particularly in their whirlwind decision to marry, reflects an unrestrained fervor that defies the cautious, pragmatic outlook often favored by their elders. However, Shakespeare does not present this passion uncritically. Instead, he intersperses the lovers' ardent declarations with moments that foreshadow their inevitable demise. For example, Juliet's line, "My grave is like to be my wedding bed," captures an acute awareness of the love-death duality that courses through the play. This, I believe, is what gives Romeo and Juliet a timeless quality. It presents love not as an abstract ideal but as an all-encompassing force that both elevates and devastates. The way Shakespeare imbues the familial feud between the Capulets and Montagues with a kind of mythic gravity adds yet another layer of complexity to the play. The hostility between these two families functions as both the immediate obstacle to Romeo and Juliet's union and a metaphor for the senseless nature of human division. While the young lovers remain the heart of the story, it is the feud that serves as its skeletal frame, dictating the characters' actions and, ultimately, sealing their fate. Shakespeare is unflinching in his depiction of how entrenched social divisions poison the individual psyche. Even Juliet's nurse, who adores her ward, is quick to betray her for reasons that align with her loyalty to the Capulet household rather than to Juliet herself. Through the feud, Shakespeare critiques not only the folly of family honor but the way in which society binds individuals to collective identities that often run counter to personal happiness. Furthermore, it's fascinating how Shakespeare uses language itself as a tool to underscore the play's emotional and thematic weight. Romeo and Juliet's dialogue is peppered with oxymorons, loving hate, heavy lightness, cold fire, that emphasize the duality and contradictions within their relationship. These linguistic choices echo the paradoxes of love and violence, loyalty and betrayal, which permeate the narrative. Shakespeare's language here is not just poetic, it is emblematic of the complexity of human emotion and experience. By intertwining eloquence with pathos, he captures the heart of adolescence, a time marked by heightened feelings and the struggle to reconcile them with the world's harsh realities. Another aspect worthy of discussion is the role of fate, which Shakespeare subtly weaves into the fabric of the play. From the prologue's reference to star-crossed lovers to Romeo's ominous vision of his own death, Shakespeare presents destiny as an unassailable force that operates independently of individual will. While one might argue that Romeo and Juliet's choices precipitate their downfall, the recurrence of fate-related motifs suggests that the outcome was preordained. It's as though Shakespeare is prompting us to question whether any amount of love or courage can alter the course of a life already charted by forces beyond one's control. This reflection on fate versus agency is, to my mind, one of the most thought-provoking elements of Romeo and Juliet, encouraging readers to contemplate the extent to which our lives are shaped by our own decisions versus external forces. Finally, as much as Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy, it also serves as a social critique, highlighting the dangers inherent in rigid traditions and generational divides. The tragic outcome is not simply the result of youthful impetuosity but of a society so steeped in its own customs that it cannot fathom change. The play's conclusion, with the Capulet and Montague families reconciled only after the deaths of their children, serves as a stark reminder of the price paid for human pride and obstinacy. It is this aspect of Romeo and Juliet that remains especially relevant today. We, too, live in a world where conflicts, cultural, political, familial, can often only be resolved after irreparable damage has been done. In sum, Romeo and Juliet is a work that transcends its simple premise, delivering a narrative that is as devastating as it is beautiful. Shakespeare's exploration of love, fate, and societal expectation presents a narrative that speaks across ages, reminding us of the tragic consequences that often accompany human stubbornness and the intensity of youthful passion. Every line, every metaphor serves to underline the play's central tenet, that love, in all its glory and fragility, is both the most redemptive and most destructive force in human existence. This is a truth that Shakespeare delivers with a poignancy unmatched in literature, and it is one that I believe will continue to resonate as long as love remains an intrinsic part of the human experience.
Thank you for listening to English Audio Lounge. We hope you have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more audio stories and video classes to improve your English.